former NFL GM. He's got 2 books out, GM Shuffle, my favorite football podcast. Sorry, Bobby and Broadus. Although Broadus, I wouldn't have to apologize to Broadus because these guys are best friends. Yes. Michael Lombardi, live on the D&M Leasing Hotline here on Shan and RJ 105.3 The Fan. What's up, Mike?
How we doing, guys? Everything good?
Not really. We're missing our best receiver. We got contract drama nonstop, and you had a VSiN article that was entitled, "Will Jerry Jones go all in with these Dallas Cowboys?" What do you make of all the contract drama?
Well, I think when you go back and really watch that game against the Packers and you own the team and you see how disappointing the effort was, the fundamentals were, everything about that game was bad. I mean, look, Jerry's had a hard time getting to a Super Bowl, hasn't been to a conference championship game since 95. Here he has home field advantage, playing against a Packer team that was, struggled to beat Carolina 33-30, lost to Tommy DeVito in the Meadowlands. I mean, they were getting better, but let's not put them out to be the 85 Bears here now. So I think when you watch that game and you see how poorly Dak played, you see how poorly all the players in the team played, the high pad level, nobody getting off blocks, Green Bay kind of doing what they wanted to do. I think you can't turn around and say, "Oh, I'm really happy. Let me give everybody big checks." Yeah, I don't think you can do that.
Well, Mike, you're telling me you still don't think the day after, a week after, that you need to sign up CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons down the road?
They're going to sign CeeDee Lamb. They're going to sign Parsons down the road, and I'm sure they're going to do something with Dak. But I don't think they have to run to the window to do it. Look, here's the thing you all miss on this Dak thing, right? Where's Dak going? Where's he going?
Anywhere he wants.
Anywhere he wants. Okay, but you realize there's other quarterbacks somewhere? He's not taking somebody's job. You think he's going to go to Miami and take Tua's job?
No.
You think he's going to go to Jacksonville and take Lawrence's job? That's anywhere you want, right?
You're telling me next offseason Dak Prescott won't be able to pick between 3 to 5 teams where he wants to go and get paid $60 million plus?
I think he'll have every option. If the Raiders lead a quarterback, I think he'll certainly have an option there. I think he'll have options at another team. But let me ask you this question. Why would he leave Dallas? Jerry would match the deal. Jerry's not afraid of free agency. What does Jerry care about? You're going to leave being the head of the Dallas. Oh, he's going to go to New Orleans next year. Oh, he's going to go to New Orleans next year. He'll go right there. They're $90 million over the cap already for next year. Okay? He ain't going to New Orleans. Not at $60 million a year. Mm-hmm. So you can forget about that. He's not going to Atlanta. Maybe a Super Bowl winning GM Terry Fontenot will sign another quarterback, but he ain't going there. Where's he going to go? Okay, he's not going to Washington. Could he go to the New York Football Giants? Yeah. But the Giants have to pay a 12% increase just because of the state taxes in the Garden State where I live. So, stop. Where's he going?
What about
Jerry's
Tampa?
Where's he going to go to Tampa? They just redid Mayfield's deal. They like Mayfield. Their defense is really good. They're just coming out of cap hell, right? They're just coming out of cap hell. Minnesota said, we've had enough of cap hell. We're getting rid of Cousins. So, let's just, where's Dak going? You really think Dak's going to just leave for an extra $1 million to go play in Tampa?
So for you, it's not Dak's talent level standing in the league. It's more options, and he's not going to go to a worse situation.
You're the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. You wear a star. You're America's team. You're going to leave that to go be a buck? That's like leaving the Yankees to go to the Mets.
Yeah. Michael Lombardi here on The Fan. All right, you said there should be no rush from Jerry after the Green Bay embarrassment. What about the NFL payment principle of you pay more when you wait, that you're just costing yourself money with other contracts that you have to leapfrog?
Well, that's great in theory, and although the worldwide leader can't wait to spread that rhetoric out there. But, okay, but let's have a conversation here. When they all say that, how come guys are constantly want their contracts redone?
Guaranteed money?
Well, because the new deals come in and they want a new contract. They want a new deal. They're saying the market's not fair. The market just got blown out. So all this getting the contract done early. Eagles did A.J. Brown's deal early. What do they have to do? Had to come back and pay again. That's just such – see, what happens is we got people on TV that have never done a contract in their life, and they start talking about crap. It's like this crap about, well, you got to have a young quarter. You have to have the quarterback on a rookie contract to win a Super Bowl. Okay, great. We have one guy that's ever done it. His name's Patrick Mahomes. One guy. But you ask any fan at any Dallas bar, they're going to tell you, oh, you got to have a rookie quarterback to win a Super Bowl. It's bull. It's complete bull. It's just the rhetoric that gets spread out there by people that don't know what they're talking about. Jerry waiting, okay, say Jerry does CeeDee Lamb's deal. Say he did it 4 months ago, and he got him for $28 million. So you don't think CeeDee's going to be saying, hey, Uncle Jerry, I want 32. You don't think by next year he's going to want more money?
No, next year, you think he's going to redo? I mean, maybe we wait 2 years, maybe hopefully 3 years.
Whether you wait 2 or you wait 3, they all come back.
Yeah.
This is a grading scale. It's always that scale. You're not getting away cheap. These guys, look, they're sitting in. I mean, they're sitting in. The rules are so that it's set up so they shouldn't sit in, but they are. They're coming back at the table. You got to manage it. I think it's ridiculous to sit there and say, well, Jerry, why waiting? It's costing him so much money. That's just people that don't know what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm. I'm talking with Michael Lombardi here on 105 Through the Fan. Okay, Michael, forgetting for a sec the cap implications or, the fact that people come back, they'll ask for more money anyway. When you have so many people, a coaching staff, players, everything else on one-year deals, does it concern you at all about the uncertainty and how quickly you could see if struggles crop up this season that guys are saying, all right, I got to start looking out for me. I got to start looking out for my next job, and that can create a toxic culture?
Well, I think that's a hard thing, right? I do think that's hard. I think that coaches by nature are insecure. They're always worried about having security, as they should, because we're with such a transient position. But I think if you're the owner and you just watch that debacle, how do you give people job security? Are you sure? I mean, Mike's won 36 games in his career in Dallas. That's pretty damn good. But that loss offset those 36 wins. Mike's done an incredible job, and Dak's played better with Mike than anyone, and he's won 36 games. But he lost the confidence, I think, of the owner because that game was so poorly developed and coached, and the players. I mean, it almost looked like they were hanging out the night before. That game is bad. Yeah. It's bad. It's one of those bad games that, like I wrote about in the VEASAN column, it doesn't go away from you. It's your moment of truth, and you let it slip away. So, I mean, look, I know it's hard for Mike. I know that, and I think what Mike has to prove he's worthy this year. It isn't Mike's going to just automatically get it. I think Jerry's sitting back and saying, wait a minute, why am I going to reward a coach? I know he's won 36 games, but the games that matter, we can't win.
Michael, if it doesn't happen again and they lose, let's just say in the first round after 11 or 12 wins, and Mike McCarthy is not here, does he definitely get hired next year by someone else?
You never can say. I would have no idea. But, I mean, Mike's on track to accumulate a lot of wins, and people can make 1,000 excuses for him. But he's won a lot of games. His quarterback's played really well. There's a lot of things to like about it, and I think certainly if you're looking for somebody to steady the ship, maybe somebody would hire him. But we are in the league of right now, we want all these young guys that have never coached before, that the general manager can control. So it would be hard. Look, Bill Belichick didn't get a job. And Super Bowl winning general manager Terry Fontenot in Atlanta said he had 3 candidates better than Belichick. So, if Bill can't get in the top 3, how's Mike going to get in the top?
Yeah.
Michael Lombardi joined us here, 105 Through the Fan. All right, speaking of Bill, do you think Bill would actually come work for Jerry?
I can't answer for Bill, but I know Bill has respect for the Jones family. I know he has respect for the star. He has respect for Parcells. So I think a lot of that would have to be over conversations about what they think, how it would work, the structure he would need, But look, Bill, I don't think Bill's of the nature to just say no to anything. I mean, he wants to coach, I'm sure. He should be coaching. It's ridiculous that he's not coaching. It's ridiculous to see some of these teams with coaches that the greatest coach of all time isn't coaching. So, yeah, I'm sure they'll have if that happens, I'm sure there's a conversation to be had.
Mike, can you make the argument that the Cowboys improved their team from last year?
I can't make that argument. I think, to me, Mike Zimmer's a really good coach. I think they'll be more physical. but it concerns you when you're trading for Jordan Phillips, who wasn't going to make the Giants team. You're signing Carl Lawson. And see, that defensive line played bad. Maisie played bad last year. Those tackles got turned. Even Hankins, all those guys that are supposed to be great players, they've lost a lot of depth to their team because Dan took a lot of players with them. I think it's hard to make that case. They have question marks at left tackle. The rookie looks like he could be a good player, but he's a rookie. There's always pitfalls there. Who's the main runner? Zeke's more of a short yardage back, and they need the guy. I love it how they say, well, if they don't get CeeDee Lamb, they don't have another receiver in camp. I mean, Brandon Cooks is a first-round pick. They treat this guy like he's a nobody. Like nobody even looks at the roster.
Who are the current NFL people on TV that drive you the craziest?
I don't watch them. I don't watch them. I really don't. I mean, I see Twitter where somebody says something completely stupid, and you're just like, I mean, really, you're getting paid for this?
Because
you have no idea.
Bobby's favorite is Dan Orlovsky. No.
Well, I mean, look, Dan will give money to everybody. I've said it on Pat McAfee's show. Dan's Will Rogers of just pay all the players. Just pay them all. Dan's never run a business. I love the fact that Dan thinks he could be an offensive coordinator. He's never coached before. Like, we're not playing Madden in the basement.
Oh, Kellen Moore's a coach.
Yeah, Kellen.
Joystick is going to be interesting here in Philadelphia because, when Joystick gets going and he doesn't run the ball with Saquon, Joystick better, this is not an easy town. This is not an easy town when it comes to football.
Is San Fran still the best team in the NFC, regardless of what happens with Ayuk?
I don't know. I think Philly's really improved this offseason. Look, Philly's a team that in the last 10 years, Dallas has won the NFC East 5 times. Philly's won it 3. The Washington teams have won it 2. All the Giant fans get mad at me. They haven't won it once in 10 years. How about this for a nugget? The Giants versus the Eagles and the Cowboys are 7-31. And Giant fans get mad at me for criticizing their team. Like, they shouldn't be mad at me. They should applaud me. Because if you're 7-31 against the teams you have to beat, you're in trouble. I think Philly's the best team. I think Detroit's really good. I think what Detroit can do more than anything is Detroit can block you. And for all the conversation about going for it on 4th down, for all the conversation about being offensive, to me it always comes down to who has the best defense. It's just time immemorial. Defense matters. The Miami Dolphins are 4-10 the last 7 games under Mike McDaniel. Nobody mentions that, naturally, because they just talk about the offense.
Yeah. I think the Giants fans may be a little worked up because of your glowing review of their front office on Hard Knocks.
Well, how would you like that? I mean, it's my profession. I had to work for Al Davis. If Al Davis would have been in that room, he would have killed. There would have been a massacre. You know what that Hard Knocks made me think of? I don't know what's the sports bar you guys go to, but it took the guy who stands in a sports bar. He made him look like he could be a GM. That's what it did.
Michael, we got we've been getting the reports out of New York that Aaron Rodgers, he's holding everybody accountable. He's having these really intense practices, going back and forth with Garrett Wilson. They obviously added the older offensive lineman, Morgan Moses, Tyron Smith. Are you buying in on the Jets right now?
I call the Jets the ifers, and if they stay healthy, I'd buy in on them. I love how Aaron Rodgers is doing all this. If they win 12 games, do you think Salah will get Coach of the Year? I mean, he can't even get to a press conference and say anything right. I mean, can you imagine he's a head coach and Bill Belichick's not?
How have you thought about all the rookie quarterback hype after the first 2 weeks of preseason?
I mean, look, I think it's good. I mean, I'm watching Drake May right now play on tape. I think everybody just needs to relax. I mean, if you don't play good, look, here's the reality. Preseason, it's cover 1, cover 3, cover 2. That's it. No match coverage, no overload pressures, no Mike Zimmer double A-gap blitzes. It's just very vanilla. And if you have any experience and you're playing with a good group of players, so you'll look good. If you don't look good, it's problematic. But the game's going to speed up. And when the game speeds up, that's when we'll find out. So I think it's good. I think the draft class, I think Caleb Williams was good. I think Jaden Daniels. I think all the Bo Nix haters, all the draft Nix who didn't think Bo Nix, Sean Payton's a really good quarterback coach, okay? He took Tony Romo as a college free agent and is a good player. Like, just stop the nonsense. Bo Nix is going to be a good player because he's got a really good coach.
I know he's not going to play this year. That's not the plan. But what have you seen from Penix?
Who could tell? I mean, tell me how that works. Can somebody explain to me how that works? Let's take a look at this, okay? If Penix is really good and he plays, they wasted $100 million. If Cousins is really good for 3 years, they wasted the 8th pick overall in the draft. Yeah. Now they're signing a bunch of old defensive players when they could have had Jalen Carter, they could have Byron Murphy, they could have had Latua. And, of course, naturally, everybody's going to applaud them for signing Justin Simmons. Everybody's going to applaud them for signing, for trading for Matthew Judon. But they're trading for older guys. Where are we going? Like, they're all in. They're all in. And they don't – they're 7-10 the last 3 years. But, of course, when you sign an older veteran like that, then it happens.
We'll let you go with this. Michael Lombardi, former NFL GM, spitting fire this morning here on 105.3 The Fan. What is the latest JFK information and intelligence that you've gathered?
Oh, I mean, I got so much. You don't even want to go in it. But if you don't read the book called Harvey and Lee, you're just really cheating yourself.
It's fantastic. I haven't read the book, but
but it's fantastic.
No. The conspiracy theory.
It's incredible. Yeah, it's incredible. The Harvey and Lee will blow your mind out the door. It's well researched. John Armstrong, his collection's down in Baylor.
Oh, it is?
Yep, sure is. He left it all there.
Michael, this was phenomenal. You've lit up the fan text and Twitter, which you'll be seeing in a second. Thank you so much for the time. Have a great weekend.
All right, guys. Talk soon. Bye-bye.